What's going on, buddy? Welcome back to the channel. Still not in the office, but wanted to bring you a LUNC video. This one, pretty interesting. A big proposal just passed, as well as some more drama potentially coming in the Luna Classic ecosystem. All of that in this video, so be sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with everything going on in the cryptocurrency market, as well as the Luna Classic. And with that being said, let's take a look at exactly what is going on right now in the total global market. And you see there, Bitcoin is holding about 29,300. We are expecting a push down potentially to 28.8, maybe even a bit lower, 28,200, where my buy orders are set. Been talking about this in Twitter and also my live streams. But look at that, ETH 1873, XRP holds about 71 cents. As we come down the list, though, you see there's a couple of movements. Tron having a decent day. Shiba Inu on the back of that Shibarian move, looking at 4.8% move. As we come down, though, into the 80s, we can see that Terra Luna Classic hovers around the 82nd largest ranked cryptocurrency right now, but 1.24% up on the day. Market cap again up as well, but volume around 20 million is a challenge. We need to increase that volume if we want to both support burns and equally get projects to come and build on the Luna Classic ecosystem. When we've only got $20 million in volume, it is significantly a challenge. But what's important here is that we have a pretty big proposal that has gone live. So this is the proposal from Happy Catty Crypto, where he talks and ultimately tries to bring decentralization back to Luna Classic. Now, we know that Agora Forum used to be where everything went to before we get our station vote. Now it moved to Commonwealth. The problem here is 3 moderators are all within an infrastructure around Terra Luna Classic that could be deemed as a conflict of interest. We have Bilbo Baggins, Edward Kim, and Rex, all of which are part of a team, albeit Edward King not so much anymore, but Rex and Bilbo Baggins, all part of the altcoin team building on Luna Classic. Now, again, this is about a vote for decentralization and ensuring that anything that's put forward has the best interests of both the chain and the community at heart. It says there that we acknowledge that the Commonwealth may encourage spam chats and scams. However, the decentralization means that we do not moderate governance or Commonwealth content. We must let the community collective govern itself and actively address any issues that arise. And what this vote was ultimately is to remove the ability or remove the admins over to a non-involved party. It says here, if the current admins do not transfer ownership to Vin or Garrick within 7 days of the proposal approval, we will propose a new Commonwealth that will not be controlled by individual players in the crypto space. L1 have been notified. And I think this is important around bringing decentralization and ensuring, like I said, the key parts are that it's voted. Now, what's interesting is the community and those validators have voted in their droves. 98% of people want to see this pass, want to see this go through. And ultimately, I guess we are on countdown from now where we see this vote coming through. There are still a few days left, but then we have 7 days prior to that to ensure that Commonwealth is moved over to a non-involved party to ensure decentralization is kept within our chain. I think it's very, very important. We haven't seen much in terms of the price. We'll take a look at that in just 1 second. Now, taking a look at some statistics, we do see Luna Classic around 341,000 burn in just the last 12 minutes. It was a significant amount yesterday. Obviously, I am here in the UK and we have just moved into a new date. So you can see there, it's about 46 million burnt yesterday when it comes to Terra Luna Classic. Now, the stats, however, do speak for themselves. We see a 1.4 billion Luna Classic staked once again on the chain with a 6-second blockchain. And what's interesting here is that a lot of people staking with Happy Catty Crypto after that vote. Now, I heard rumors that he got a lot of intention, a lot of negative press around it. So shout out to him, because that was a key point that didn't he talking about, and fair play, he absolutely has put that out there. And I think it's a vote in terms of decentralization and again, the progress of our chain. Now, finally, before we take a look at the price, we did have this from Redline Drift. Remember, part of the altcoin team around the buyback protocol. This is very interesting. Divergent protocol fee. We talked about this previously on a couple of videos, how this supports that USTC Repg. This is huge, and we are getting the first glimpse of what this looks like. Now, what it does say here is the protocol buyback ratio is the number of USTC the Divergent protocol can buy for each USTC sold at a given market price. As we get close to the 50% deviation from PEG, the buying power of the protocol ramps up exponentially by adding 1 to the buyback ratio and can calculate the factor by which sell orders would have to exceed buy orders, e.g. at a 46% deviation from PEG, the sell orders would have to exceed buy orders by a factor of 6 for the price to drop further. And you can see it there on the graph. Ultimately, this will keep the price up as the price comes down. The protocol fundamentally will buy at a significantly cheaper rate to continue to bring that USTC peg back in line. I think it's one of the key parts of that development of the USTC repeg and ensuring that it works for both parties. Now, what it does go on to talk about is an important note to do is the nature of how the divergent protocol operates. It buys back USDC always cheaper than the market price. Our effective buyback cost is the market price less the divergent protocol fees. If we look at the graph, we can see that at approximately 35% deviation or 0.65, the diversion fee take surpasses our effective buyback cost. This means that for every one USTC sold on the market, we can buy back more than one USTC. And you can see that there on that chart, ultimately keeping that peg stable, keeping the peg there. And equally, if people are trying to dump this, then it will absolutely, fundamentally, they're going to get wrecked on the back of it. So I think early stages, very, very exciting. Now, taking a look at the price, where do we currently sit? We're about 0.17 down here on a new day in the UK, hovering the 8182 range, which we've been now for quite some time, hovering off that 8167 at the support level, which we did come down and once again test, breaking through that 7 and 20-day EMA, using the 200 though to bounce off. So what does the price look like coming forward for this week? Well, you can see there on the chart that we could start to see a bullish trend. We're seeing this upward movement on Terra Luna Classic. What we need to avoid is market pushdowns, but we have to be mindful. I do think a market pushdown for Bitcoin is coming, but we'll keep you up to date with everything going on with Luna Classic as ever. We'll be back in the studio on Sunday, but until then, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.